Ja, guten Abend, meine Damen und Herren. Willkommen in meinem Haus. Nice to be here again. Feeling somewhat better than the other evening. Fibro pains in my head were bloody awful, but I'm trying, excuse the pun here, I'm trying to soldier on. I'm trying to keep going through this, but it's not pleasant. So what have I been up to today? Been out to dinner, had a pork chop for dinner with all the trimmings, which was nice. Thank you. Well, the other one will go off in a minute. So yeah, so I had that. That was good. That was very nice, I have to say. The dessert wasn't 100% brilliant where I went. Some kind of pavlova thing with fruit in it. The fruit was nice, but the meringue thing, it's like trying to eat foam rubber. You know, I mean, it's just spoon jammed in it, and chewing it was like, I had to admit defeat in the end, and I gave up. Other than that, it was nice, and so got me out the house, which was a good idea, I think. That was a good idea. That one there, not that one, but that one. You know, that clock was made before the Battle of Waterloo, around about 1800, and it's still going. Fantastic. One day I'll make a little vid and I'll show you it properly, that clock. That's a fantastic piece of kit. So anyway, I came home and I've been tinkering here on the workbench. So our 54mm English Civil War Pikeman. As you will know if you watched the last video, if you didn't, why didn't you watch the last video? I said I needed to amend the top of the leg where you can see this, where the stocking meets the breeches. I needed to amend it because there's, you can't really see it on this. Ah, there you go, that's not too bad. Where it's like some kind of garter there. So there wasn't on the new leg, but there was on the original leg, so I had to add that, so I cut that in. And I also cut in a bit better the heel on the shoe. I did that as well. So that's the legs. Remember I was saying that 2 plates of armor, they come off, so you need to push the body out slightly so they go down over the legs. Well, I was sort of slightly right. They actually fix here. You see those holes? These little lugs on the plates, they actually fix in there. But you still sort of need to get this body slightly forward so it goes down nicely over the legs. I was sort of right. You know what I mean. You've been doing this longer than me. You know what I meant. So anyway, what I have done, as well as the legs, is I've added the head and the shirt collar. There you go. How can you see that? Yeah, there you go. So the head looks a little bit misshapen on the top, and there's a reason for that, is that he was wearing a World War II Nazi piss pot. So I had to get rid of that. And whoever had put that on had done a very, very good job, because it was stuck like shit to a blanket. I mean, really, they must use copious amounts of glue, because I actually couldn't get it off. It wasn't going to come off for anyone, so I had to cut it off and trim it. That's why the head looks a bit sort of misshapen on the top. But it doesn't matter because you're going to have the lobster pot on it anyway. So it won't show, you know, it won't show. So that's, I suppose the next step is, looking at my, there's always a hair that sticks out. You don't notice that? You only notice it halfway through making a video. You only notice it. The next step, I guess, is to put the torso onto the legs. Something akin to that fashion. Probably going to need possibly a little tiny bit of filler where the joint is, but that's nothing. So we're a bit further forward with our ECW Pikeman, so that's good. So it's all a, ouch, it's all a good distraction, if I can put it that way. I'll tell you another thing I'm doing, which isn't going to take me long to do. .1/72 scale Grenadier Guards bandsman. I got 8 here on the bench. I thought I would paint just to show you what they look like when they're done. I mean, I've cleaned a couple up from the flash, which is neither here nor there. Really, there's hardly any flash on them at all. There's a little bit, but nothing really to worry about. And the painting itself is not going to take much because it's a very basic uniform. Black trousers, black boots, black bearskin, some flesh tone, red tunic, and a white belt. And obviously, yeah, whatever colour the instrument is that they're playing. You know, brass cymbals or silver trumpet or whatever they're playing. So they won't take much to do, but I just thought I'd do a few just to show you what they look like. Shame there's none of the Guards Colour Party salvageable from those 2 bags we had. They was worse than the bandsman, honestly. They was gone, completely ruined. I did get a full refund on them, which was nice. That was fine. So, I guess all's well that ends well. I ended up with a couple of dozen, maybe more than that. Oh, I don't know, yeah, possibly a couple of dozen or so Grenadier Guards bandsmen, free of charge. But it's just a bit disappointing about the colour party and all that. But I thought I'd run a few up just to see what they look like, just show you what they look like. So plenty happening on the bench, plenty to keep myself occupied. That's really all I gotta say. Oh, I'll tell you what I had last night quickly before I go. If you've never had this, try it. It's beautiful. And that for tea, I have partridge. Now, I'm a great advocate of pheasant, as you've probably heard me say, which is in its own right delicious. But partridges are absolutely fantastic. Better than pheasant, I gotta say. Better than pheasant. A lot smaller than pheasant. You can cook one and just stick it on your plate. You haven't got to carve it or nothing, just on your plate. And this was a wild bird. And the reason I know it was a wild bird, Exhibit A, a little piece of shot that came out on the plate, which I like to see very much. I don't like to see huge amounts of it, but an odd pellet here and there I'm happy to see, because that tells you it's a wild bird, and it's been wild birds for shoots and syndicates and stuff. They get the best of everything. It's not intensively reared, fed full of crap and growth hormones and all the rest of it. It's a proper wild bird, given the best of everything, which is fantastic. And it showed. I tell you what, it showed. The flavour was absolutely fantastic. So if you've never had partridge, go for it. They're cheap. They're cheap at the moment. I can't remember what I paid for a brace, but $5 or something stupid. Make a very good dinner. So anyway, that's where we're at. Nice to be back, feeling somewhat better. Pikeman's coming along. Got some bandsmen on the go. Still working on the 20mm Hussars. So lots to keep us interested. As always, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, thanks for your comments, thanks for everything. See you on the next one.